today we're gonna look at what it's like taking this piano and vocal demo and turning it into a final pop production. I'm going to show you every step of the way, including getting notes from the artist, the approach that I'm taking on building the track that she's looking for, as well as the final production and what that sounds like. Let's do it. All right, we got the inquiry from our client. She sent us a pages thing of like the lyrics and the chord progression that she used for the demo and some style things. So let's read through that together real quick. The songs she's referencing are Greedy by Tate Mcrae and Zen by Jennie. Jennie being one of the girls from Blackpink. So we got a K-pop-ish reference and an American pop reference. It's pretty modern style. She's giving me kind of like a blurb here about what she's thinking, kind of where some pauses are, the arrangement that she'd like for the song itself, as well as, you know, all the chords and the lyrics and whatnot here, as well as she did send us a demo, which is attached here, but I've already downloaded that. Put that inside our Ableton Live session for us to check out. So it sounds like a normal like pop progression, kind of like a very halftime feel. I'm going to check some of the references that she sent out. I got Greedy by Tate Mcrae. And obviously I'm not going to be able to let you guys hear this because I ain't trying to get copyright struck. According to her pages notes, the verses she wanted to feel like that song. Seems kind of minimalistic, kind of got like a little loop going, and then really just kind of like a kick, snare, bass loop kind of thing, and letting the vocal really drive like the feeling of the verse. So we'll take that into account. And then the other thing is the chorus of the song Zen by Jennie. And once again, I'm not going to have you listen to this because I ain't trying to get demonetized. I am going to go ahead and skip to the chorus though. So for this one, there's a lot of stomps and claps in the chorus. It's got this really big, like anthemic kind of sound for the chorus, which I think will be kind of a cool juxtaposition between like a minimalistic nature in the verses and maybe like have it build into this like big stomp clap stadium pop thing. In the chorus. I think that'll be cool. At the post-chorus of this Jennie song, there's this like synth thing that does like this little and that's really cool. And I think I might take that idea and run with it too. Overall, I kind of get the idea of like this big cinematic thing that she's going for in juxtaposition to the more minimalistic pop thing from the Tate Mcrae song. We're going to try to lock in with this rough BPM that she has the chorus of the song. Yeah, 146 feels about right for what she's playing. So after we got this tempo down, let's lock in the progression with the MIDI. All right, so we got that going. Start building out the chorus first. I know I'm gonna want some really big, like low octaves for all of these. That'll be the chorus amount of progressions. We got 4 progressions on the chorus, 2 progressions on the outro. So now we just want this big, like kick, like stadium kick kind of sound. And honestly, yeah, if you don't have the Lyre sample pack, I feel like that's like a must-have from Splice. They do a lot of K-pop stuff and pop stuff, so honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Add all these snares together. Let's give it some live feel. Just adding some extra little like pat spurts. Kind of feels like it needs a shaker. All right, we are cooking, but I think my wife just got here, hearing by the dogs, so I'm gonna take a break and come back later and try to finish up this bit a little more. My goodness, they are loud. It's been a couple days since I started working on this track. I've actually been able to like squeeze in a little bit of time here and there between family time to add a couple things. So let's hop in and I'll show you what I added, and then we'll keep making progress on the track a little bit. Whereas before we had mainly just done some bass stuff, we had done some keys. As you can see, I've added like a couple different things to it. First, we're going to show you kind of where we're at now, and I'll show you what we added. There's an 808 on top of a Reese bass. So the Reese bass is kind of keeping the consistency, and the 808's doing a lot of the hits. And then I found this like vocal thing. Did some chops of it, manipulated it, obviously. It adds a little bit of general stabby ambience. Added some impacts and like this one shot, and then these haze, which she asked for in her sheet, kind of on the ands of the chorus. And if you listen to the demo, she kind of does the haze as well. So I just took that idea that she had and then kind of put it in a very similar place. And then the big one thing that I did is I found a way to use those bendy synths. So in the Jennie song reference, I mentioned at the end of the chorus, there was these cool like bendy synth things. And I ended up in the MIDI, made these little envelope dips with the pitch bend section. And I added two synths. One was a synth from Arcade, Pop Underground pack, and then the other one was a Diva synth, which I really, really love for more lush kind of sounding stuff. This is the Pop Underground one. And then this is the Diva synth. And then we added those together. And then I wanted something kind of 16th note and percussion-y, so then I added this ARP synth. Just chord staggering them. If you didn't know, you can use the arpeggiator plugin inside of Ableton and change it to chord trigger. And it will keep the chords, and you can, change all the parameters and stuff. That is also a Pop Underground preset from Arcade. And then all of these are side-chained to the kick as well. And actually, I feel like we have a pretty good chorus kind of done now. The next thing we need to do is figure out a verse. So now I need to find some sort of like sample thing, because her reference was that Tate Mcrae song. I need to find some sort of sample that I can use as kind of like a through line. That's outside of the vocal hook. Let's try to find some sort of loop or something. Let's go to Splice and see what we can find. I think it needs less low end on it, because I think there's like a little bit of a bass drone there. I don't really want that. That's cool, and it needs to be a little less harsh in those high frequencies, so let's do some RC retro color on it. I have this preset, No More Boring Pads. It's really cool. That's nice. For a layer, finding something accidental like that's always good. I like that a lot. Let's see if it sounds like when I drop it an octave, maybe for the verse. Yeah, that's nice. I don't want it to take up the same space as that like ooh that's going to happen later. I know it's going to be there, so I might as well just go ahead and make some room for it. Oh, you know what? Let's do a drum break, the build up, and then we'll have a drum break like kind of come in to bring the energy and then drop back into halftime. I think that'll be cool. I like that. Cool. Now we need to find kicks. I need to build the drums out.
Kick.
To make that work with the Tate Mcrae-ish type thing. And I think that's sick. Not gonna lie, that groove in the verse of that Tate Mcrae song is honestly very cool though. Also real quick, if you like the samples that I'm picking for the verse, kick, and snare in here, you can go pick up my homie okayWARREN's OK Essentials Volume 1 pack. Very, very sick stuff. I use it across a bunch of different productions. Highly recommend. So go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description for that. So we basically, for the repeat chorus, she's doing 2 at a time. The first one, we're going to keep it down, and we're going to get rid of all the drums, most of the synths, and we're going to add the synths from the verse in to kind of carry it through. We'll leave the shaker in there to drive it instead of a hi-hat, something softer. And we'll keep the last 2 little vocal stabs, but I'm going to get rid of the rest of them. Cool. I think we got our arrangement. I think the last thing I need is the little vocal hook thingy, which I am just going to attempt to sing into this and manipulate into what I need. Ooh, 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 ooh. Even if I just have to use that as a placeholder for later and get her to track 1. All right, I think I'm good to send this over to her as a test and see how she feels about it. And then we'll get some notes on production and all that and see how everything is going and what we need to change. You know, we can't really move on and print her the final song until it's all done on my end. We'll see how she feels about it. All right, we are back the next day. And I have gotten revisions back from our client, and she has requested a couple things, and honestly, not actually that much. I expected it to be way more. Overall, she wanted to recut the intro vocal thing, which I figured she would want to. She wants to add more layers when we get to vocal tracking. Perfectly understand. On those hays needs to feel a little more natural, and that would be really cool actually. From the transition from the second verse to the second chorus, it feels like it just kind of like happens, and so she wants it to be a little more built into the dropout right before the second chorus. So that's what we are going to do today. We are going to sit down and try to finish up this song real quick. So the second verse we worked on yesterday. And then here, she said it felt like it needed to build more, which I agree, into this dropout. This feels like it kind of happens. So let's find some risers, put some extra risers in there, and then try to finalize this. Maybe I want a bass riser too. There we go. Finally found one. All right, so we got whoosh number 1 starting with the tone. And then we have second whoosh with mostly air. And then we have bass whoosh coming in at the end. And then a little reintroductory whoosh, getting us back into the chorus. We have a finished track. We're going to send it over. She's going to come into the studio. We're going to track some vocals, and we are going to try to get this thing wrapped up pretty quickly. So now let's take it from the chorus and let's show you the demo versus the production of where we ended up at. So this is the chorus demo.
When I'm losing control, once and again, hey, what can I say? What can I say when I'm running away? Once and again, hey, you make me stay, you make me stay.
And this is the production that it turned into. Hey, if you've enjoyed this process and you maybe want this for your song, check out musicbydrew.com, contact me, and we can figure out what that might need to look like for you. If you want to check out some of the samples that I use, you should go check out the link in the description for the okayWARREN OK Essentials sample pack. Hey, while you're down there, make sure you're subscribed and like the video as well to see more of cool videos like this. And if you want to see more about maybe how to use Ableton Live, how to produce in Ableton Live, I got some videos right over here for you that you can check out. So I'll see you over there in that one. Peace.